I am certain that I am a thinking thing. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. It is only prudent never to place complete confidence in that by which we have even once been deceived. To know what people really think, pay regard to what they do, rather than what they say. The senses deceive from time to time, and it is prudent never to trust wholly those who have deceived us even once. I am a thing that thinks, that is to say, a thing that doubts, affirms, denies, understands a few things, is ignorant of many things, wills, refuses, imagines also, and perceives. Each problem that I solved became a rule which served afterwards to solve other problems. It is not enough to have a good mind, the main thing is to use it well. It is only by recognizing the range of reasons we have to doubt that we can begin to claim certain knowledge. Perfect numbers, like perfect men, are very rare. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. The simplest truths are the hardest to understand. The greatest minds are capable of the greatest vices as well as of the greatest virtues. We ought to have a habit of applying rules, even to matters of greater difficulty. I think, therefore I am. Mathematics is a more powerful instrument of knowledge than any other that has been bequeathed to us by human agency. The only way to comprehend what mathematicians mean by infinity is to contemplate the extent of human stupidity. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you. There is nothing so strange and so unbelievable that it has not been said by one philosopher or another. To live without philosophizing is in truth the same as keeping the eyes closed without attempting to open them. The only difference between a genius and one of common capacity is that the former anticipates and explores what the latter accidentally hits upon. Common sense is the most fairly distributed thing in the world, for each one thinks he is so well endowed with it that even those who are hardest to satisfy in all other matters are not in the habit of desiring more of it than they already have. The first precept was never to accept a thing as true until I knew it as such without a single doubt. I am accustomed to sleep and in my dreams to imagine the same things that lunatics imagine when awake. I am not accustomed to saying anything with certainty after only one or two observations. It is not my intention to teach philosophy, but only to show how I have tried to apply my own method to it. It is not possible to conceive anything so strange and so implausible that it has not already been said by one philosopher or another. The greatest minds, as they are capable of the highest excellencies, are open likewise to the greatest aberrations. I am a thing that thinks, that is to say, that doubts, affirms, denies, understands few things, is ignorant of many things, wills, refuses, imagines, and perceives. Whenever anyone has offended me, I try to raise my soul so high that the offense cannot reach it. The mind is a complex and multifaceted thing, and the study of it has occupied thinkers for centuries. Reasoning is a matter of the mind understanding itself. Traveling is not always a source of knowledge, but rather a challenge to one's own understanding. I am certain that I can be mistaken, but not that I am mistaken about being mistaken. I have always been of the opinion that the most important part of any undertaking is the beginning, for that is where the foundation is laid. The natural light of reason affords us more knowledge of God than all the volumes of learned men. The more we learn about the world, the more we learn about ourselves. The greatest minds are often the most open-minded. What we call doubt is often simply a lack of imagination. Each problem that I solved became a rule which served afterwards to solve other problems. In order to improve the mind, we must first understand its limitations. To doubt everything or to believe everything are two equally convenient solutions, both dispense with the necessity of reflection. The senses deceive us, but only sometimes, and it is our duty to be aware of this. There is nothing more easily forgotten than an imperfectly understood idea. It is not enough to have a good mind, the main thing is to use it well. A state of doubt is often the first step towards understanding. What is required for progress is not a denial of knowledge, but a greater awareness of its limitations. The only way to deal with fear is to face it head-on. The study of mathematics, like the Nile, begins in minuteness but ends in magnificence.